Hey everybody, Nerdy Transformed, and welcome to 2016. So, to celebrate New Year, I thought why don't we start with a Generations figure I got for Christmas. I thought about doing one of the Combiner Wars ones, but you know what, let's do Tailgate, because I actually like him quite a bit. Quite a lot more than I thought I would. If you don't know Tailgate, he was originally a repaint of, I believe it was Wind Charger back in G1. And it's kind of funny because now it's the reverse, because with the Generations line we got Tailgate, and with Combiner Wars we got a repaint of Tailgate as Wind Charger. So it's kind of come full circle in a way. Oh, to be honest, they both kind of look like G1 gears, but that's just because a lot of those mini-bots look very similar. Anyway, so here's the Legends Tailgate. You can see he's a muscle car, much like Cliff Jumper was from Transformers Prime, who I don't have with me. And he's a very nice little car, you know, not a lot of details, but just enough to make him look right. He's a nice white car. Got some blue paint, got some decal blue flames, and a little blue Autobot symbol on the front of the hood. Looks very nice. Silver on the windows. Very nice color. Spices up the white a little bit without, you know, basically distracting you. The rims of the car wheels are gray, or I think they're painted silver actually. They look silver. I can't tell if that's silver plastic or silver paint, but either way they're silver, which is nice. And he has these 4 little exhaust pipes just sticking off the back. Which I like that there's 4 exhaust pipes to kind of let you know this car can go really fast. But I don't care much for them sticking off like the way they do. And there's the robot underneath. Doing quite a bit of fold up under there. There's not much painted. It's like I said, it's just the decal in the front and in the windows basically. But there is quite a bit sculpted for a little Legends figure. You can see he's got the grill and all these little headlights on the front. On the sides you can see some little panels and even a tiny little door. I guess you could say door handle. Got some paneling lines up here that aren't part of the car. It kind of just helps hide the transformation panels, which is nice. And you can even see the headlight sculpted on the back. The white balance of my camera's making it hard to see, but yeah, those details are all there. And yeah, like I said, it's a very nice little car mode. Then we have Groundbuster, which, from what I understand, is basically like a reference or a reimagining of some character named Neutro. Neutro. I'm gonna say Neutro. But this is Groundbuster, and yeah, looking at G1 Neutro, he looks a lot like him. Same, pretty much almost is like a modern version of this vehicle mode. Although, from what I understand, this is a bomb disposal skid loader, according to TF Wiki. A bomb disposal skid loader. I mean, that does explain the weird claw thing. I would just call it a bulldozer. I mean, yeah, looking at this thing, bulldozer. And no wheels on the bottom. Oh yeah, tailgate rolls pretty well. Kids who like Hot Wheels will go nuts with that. But yeah, this is Groundbuster, and he's an alright little bulldozer. He's weirdly blue and white to kind of go with Tailgate's color scheme, which makes sense. It's just weird that he's blue and white. And yeah, he's got a claw on it for, I guess, bomb disposal. You know, just kind of grab the bomb, pull it out of the way. I don't know. I guess it's a big sturdy vehicle for that kind of thing. Don't quite get it. For size comparisons, here they are next to the Combiner Wars, Rodimus, and Blackjack. Here he is next to Streetwise. You see he's quite a bit smaller. Let's see, who do we want to go next? How about this? The World of Nintendo Star Fox, who of course does not transform, because he is not a Transformer. And how about R.I.D. Megatronus? Although he's not in his vehicle mode, but same difference. Now you know what he looks like next to a Warrior class. And here. Go ahead and guess who that was. To finally complete my Defensor. So, transformation. Do any of you remember one thing I forgot. This peg folds out, which lets Groundbuster peg onto Tailgate and have this. And of course, Tailgate's gimmick is he's an attacking weapon that when you push down the white part, the claw snaps out and could technically grab something. It also folds out a bit further so you can kind of have this like grabby look like he's about to grab something. But yeah, doing the gimmick by itself just does that. Now, my problem with the gimmick is Groundbuster has no transformation for robot mode, because just like the Oh crap, what's his name? The one that came with Scrapnel. It's gonna come to me later. His transformation is literally just standing up the vehicle and there's a robot on the bottom. With the other one, I didn't mind so much because he was a camera. There's not much transformation you could do. Plus, he flipped down to a gun. This one, did you really need all of this? I mean, am I not only getting power core combiner flashbacks? Like literally, a power core combiner arm for that series. That was what the arm looked like. Was something like this, and the legs were usually something like this. If we put the arms there, and the legs usually end up looking like something like that. So yeah, this guy could actually pass for a power core combiner if given the right port. And yeah, there's his robot mode, just kind of buried in there under the shovel. Which, I like to do this, just so that way you can actually see the robot mode a bit better. And you see, yeah, he does have some good details. He's got his face painted in silver. The eyes aren't a separate color, but they are sculpted in with his nose. His body is fully sculpted, and his arms are fully sculpted on the treads. And he even has a fake wheel on his arm, which is what Neutro had. On Neutro, he had his actual wheels on his treads, you know, so that way he could roll. This one can't roll, but it's kind of nice to actually include the detail of what Neutro had on his arms. So it's a nice little detail. I wish they would stop with these gimmicks. I mean, granted, now I'm kind of mad with Combiner Wars that we don't get anything with the figures. It's just little legends for $10. But at least with this, we did get a minifigure who could also be a weapon. So, in a way, it's kind of like, yeah, we don't have to deal with that anymore, but also like, we don't get the minifigures anymore. But then again, the minifigures always have these stupid gimmicks that make them not really good figures. I mean, Payload was good, and I think Flanker was alright, but yeah, the camera in this guy just could have been better. So yeah, he does have red paint, and that's about the only paint the figure actually has. It's just on the chest and on the silver on his face. Now, for as simple as his transformation is, this is where a lot of people have problems with Tailgate, is he has a rather complex transformation for how small he is. If he was a deluxe, it probably wouldn't be so bad because he would be bigger and have more parts to reach into, but since he's so tiny, it can be kind of frustrating. So, how we're going to transform him, as you can see on the bottom, those are pretty clearly his legs. You're going to come in here, you're going to have to pop them off, these tabs. They're tabbed into the doors. Then you're going to come over here, go on, detach the doors from the... the doors will become the arms and these will become the hips. Once you do that, you get freedom to move the arms out, and of course, or the legs, I mean, and also untab them from the back of the vehicle. Then you're going to bring them forward, and everything's going to come down. The 4 pipes are actually like his crotch plate, and they come down this hinge. Going to want to flip them around the other way. That will give you clearance. Well, we're going to split the front too, actually. Like I said, his transformation is kind of weird. Split the front, and you'll come down. See, originally here, come down this double hinge to become his arms. And the doors just simply, you just flip them like that so you can see his hands. Then the back hood also comes up on this double hinge. Kind of clean up the kibble a bit and get it out of the way for the legs. To where you can finally fold this up and tab it in place. Flip these around just because it pushes the kibble back further, so where you just kind of have it more even with the legs. Flip these down for his feet and turn the legs forward. You can see it's not really even that complex, it's just that you kind of have to keep stopping halfway through one step to complete a different step. So, it's not that it's particularly bad, it's just a little frustrating for his size. But yeah, that is Generations Tailgate and his robot mode. Let's go ahead and get the comparisons out of the way. Once again, Combiner Wars Blackjack and Rodimus. Let's see, who else we got? Streetwise, who's a deluxe. So yeah, as usual, Legends are about half the size of a deluxe. Warrior class Megatronus from the RAD line, who's a bit wider but not quite as tall as deluxe Streetwise over there. Once again, here's the Star Fox. Well, the Star Fox figure. Now they're about the same height, or probably about the same amount of plastic. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but yeah. Bit closer in size there, and I think that was about it. Let's get everybody out of here. Come back, you two. And oh wait, shoot, I fell. He broke his neck. Megatronus killed him. It's all over. I never get that on camera. I always drop figures off camera. I'm not sure if it's a good or a bad thing. And I guess it's a good thing because nobody saw, but it's a bad thing because, well, nobody got to see it. So, no fun either. So yeah, here's these two. And yeah, they don't look too bad. Like I said, Groundbuster looks alright. Not too much detail, just a little bit of paint. Oh yeah, there is some paint on the side for the treads to make it light blue, like the rest of the vehicle. And you see in this mode, you get a lot more light blue, and even a little bit more gray for his robot mode. Light blue in the chest is blue plastic on the chest with white paint. The head is white with a little bit of white blue for his shades or his visor. Gray for the leg area and crotch, and on the little bit on the arms on the inside. The legs are blue with white feet. And yeah, the color scheme I think works. A little bright, but I think it works. The kibble, however, yeah. He does not utilize his kibble at all. His car basically just ends up on his back. The only piece that's actually folded away is like the top here, and even then it's just folded away with more kibble. The other car kibble is just hanging off the arms. Technically speaking, it's just hanging off, or it's hanging off the legs and hips, I mean. The arms, you could technically say he's utilizing the kibble, but really it's more just hanging off with the arms built into the kibble. Because the kibble didn't actually turn to the arms are just inside the kibble. Because technically speaking, you could move this car chunk and his arm would still be there. It's just laying on top of his arm. The only part that actually might be used for his arm is the tire itself. And even on his forearm, you see again it's kind of just hanging off his arm, or his arm sculpted into the kibble. So I can see where people might have some issues with this figure. And even his articulation is a bit limited because of all this. His head does not move at all. And like pretty much all the Airlifers figures I have, I think, also have head movement. There might be one or two I'm not thinking of, but most of the others have head movement at least. This one does not. The arms are on the ball joint, but they're very limited due to, well, the kibble. Arm can't go down very much because of the kibble. Can't go out very much because of the kibble. Even just going forward and backward, kibble starts banging together. The ball joint in the arm can only do so much. The elbow works fine, but the ball joint itself going back and forth can't go very far because of the kibble. Nothing at the waist. Ball joint the leg, which has a bit more movement than the arm, but again, a little bit limited by the kibble because can't go out that far. Can't go in that far, so it's banging together. The knee works pretty well. It also swivels because of the ball joint, and again, bangs into the kibble. And the one thing that's not inhibited by the kibble is the ankle joint, which is nice that he does have full ankle joints. He does not have the ankle pivot, where you could have it out here, but because how his legs are sculpted, you basically have a pivot built in. And he stands pretty well, and you can get him in a pretty wide pose. You see his feet can stand out that pretty far, which is really good for a Transformer, let alone a Legends figure. As well as you can work in that swivel from the knees to kind of get a more dynamic pose in. And of course, unlike a lot of the Combiner Force figures, he does have a weapon, because Groundbuster can turn into a weapon. I mean, you can just leave him like this and just give him something to whack people with. You know, just brr. Or they can also extend and you now have a claw weapon, which works a bit better. Still a little ridiculous since he's holding a freaking bulldozer. Call it what you want, bomb disposal, whatever. It's a bulldozer. But at least it looks like it could be two-handed, and Ratchet looks rather dangerous if you get him in the right pose. I just wish his head was swiveled, because then I could have his head turning this way, and then he would actually be in a pretty cool pose. If he had a head swivel, I would actually really, really like this figure. As it is, I still enjoy him, but I would give him higher marks if he actually had the head swivel. Also give Groundbuster more marks if he actually had a weapon mode that made more sense. I get what they were going for, something more unique, something more interesting, not just another gun. But you didn't get the gun stuff right the first time with the little camera dude. So I wouldn't mind if you actually gave him a gun mode. He would actually make a pretty good gun. Flanker and Payload were the only ones that really made good guns, I think. But yeah, that's Tailgate. Pretty cool little figure. It's nice that he actually got his own mold in that it wasn't just another remolded wind charger. Like I said, it was actually reversed for once. And yeah, I think I think he gets a lot of bashing he doesn't deserve, but I can understand their points because yeah, looking at this from the back, would you even be able to tell if this is a robot? Like, here, get rid of the legs just sticking out. If it was not for his legs just sticking out the bottom, it would just look like a car that fell apart. Look like one of those toys that's meant to fall apart, not an actual car, an actual robot. But so yeah, he has a lot of problems due to all of his kibble that's just hanging off him. But to be honest, he's still just a little Legends figure. If this was a deluxe, I would be taking a lot more points off. But for a little Legends figures, they don't usually have that much to begin with. I mean, look at Blackjack here. The only thing Blackjack has more than him is the head movement. He doesn't even have waist or anything. And heck, he doesn't have the ankle movement. He just has these big blocks of legs that can't do much. So, like I said, if Tailgate had head movement, that's one of my biggest issues, just that he cannot move his head. Which, yeah, even if he could have a swivel right there, he actually does have room in there to move, because he could just move this piece out of the way a bit. And that's another thing is, yeah, he has a lot of kibble, but you can also work with it. I mean, this kibble over here moves. The back panel can be pulled back a bit more. You know, you can work, it's kibbly, but you can work with the kibble, though. While most Transformers, you're kind of just stuck with it. Like Blackjack here. So, he has a lot of flaws, but I think a lot of people forget that a lot of Transformers have the same flaws, and you can just work around them. So, would I recommend him? Sure. He goes for about $10 on eBay. I'd say that, and that's the same price he was in the store, so I'd say that's worth it. And Groundbuster, like I said, ain't that bad either. I like to pick on them, but it is kind of nice getting some random little Micromaster reborns for them, and as well as he does at least make a unique weapon. Just add a head swivel in, and he's well, not perfect, but he would be a really good Legends figure. As he is, he's a really good one. He's a little bit above average, and we have a little above average. So yeah, if you can find him, I'd recommend him. He's a pretty neat little figure, and he has a good buddy, and I like the color scheme. Lots of neat little things. So this is Nerdy Transformed. I hope you have a good Monday, I hope you have a good week, and I hope you take care. See you later.